Okay, so let's get right into it. We're seeing a massive shift in how software gets made, and leading the charge are two heavyweights with totally different visions. In one corner, you've got Google Antigravity, which is kind of like having an AI workforce at your command. And in the other corner, you have Replit, which has basically built a full-on AI factory. And this isn't just about some fancier coding tools. No, this is a battle for the future of development itself.
And this quote, it just nails what's happening. We're blowing past AI being just a little helper that suggests the next line of code. We are walking into a world where AI agents can take on entire, complicated engineering tasks all by themselves, from start to finish. Our job is changing from being the person who writes the code to being the person who directs the show.
So if you really want to get the difference between Antigravity and Replit, you can't just look at a feature list. It won't tell you the whole story. What we're really looking at are two completely different ideas, two philosophies on how software should be dreamed up, built, and shipped.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Replit is all about this idea-to-app philosophy. Its whole reason for being is to just crush the time it takes to develop something, to get you from a simple thought in your head to a live, running app as fast as possible. Google Antigravity, though, is playing a different game. It's built on an agent-first philosophy. It's not as obsessed with that final deployment step, it's more focused on fundamentally changing how you work by letting you hand off big, messy tasks to a whole team of AI agents.
Okay, let's talk about maybe the biggest practical difference you'll feel right away, where your code and tools actually live. And this might sound like a minor detail, but trust me, it changes everything about your day-to-day workflow.
Antigravity is a local desktop app, and this is huge. It means its agents can get their hands on your local file system, your terminal, your whole computer, really. It's built to jump right into your existing complicated projects, right where they are. Replit is the complete opposite. It's 100% in the cloud, living in your web browser. This gives you that amazing zero setup, start coding in 10 seconds feeling that's just perfect for working with other people. But the trade-off is that everything is running in a little box in the cloud, totally walled off from your local machine.
All right, so we know where they run, but what about the actual AI brains behind the operation? Well, here again, we see them go in two fascinatingly different directions. It's not just about which AI model is smarter, it's about how they're designed to think and act on their own.
Replit's secret sauce is something you could call an autonomous reflection loop. See, when the Replit agent runs some code and it crashes, which it will, it doesn't just give up and ask you for help. It actually reads the error message from the terminal, figures out what went wrong, and then goes back and rewrites the code to fix its own mistake. It's this self-correcting ability that makes it feel like a real autonomous worker on your factory floor.
Google Antigravity, though, is all about multi-agent orchestration. You get this manager view, and from there, you can basically spin up multiple AI agents and give them all different jobs. So what does that actually mean? Well, you could have one agent grinding away on the backend API in one window, while a completely different agent is building the user interface in another, at the exact same time. You're not just giving it a to-do list, you're managing an entire team.
So with all this power and autonomy, you have to ask the big question. How on earth do you trust an AI that can build or, completely destroy your entire application? Well, both platforms have a pretty unique take on this.
And this really gets back to their core philosophies. Antigravity builds trust by showing you its homework. It writes up these simple, human-readable plans, checklists, and even takes screenshots of what it's about to do, so you can double-check its logic before you give it the green light. Replit, well, it builds what I like to call trust through competence. You learn to trust it because you literally watch it work, break something, and then fix itself, all in real time. Of course, that kind of power can be risky. There was a pretty well-known incident where a Replit agent with a bit too much freedom wiped a live database. It's a huge reminder that at the end of the day, a human still needs to be in charge.
Now, for a lot of people, the biggest difference in their day-to-day is going to be what happens after the AI writes the code. Like, how do you go from a folder full of files to a real live website that people can actually visit?
Replit's superpower is its completely seamless, all-in-one pipeline. The agent writes the code, builds it, tests it, all right there in your browser. And then, and this is the magic part, you click one button and your app is live on a public URL, SSL certificate and all. It's the whole package, a true factory that turns raw ideas into finished products.
Antigravity, sticking to its philosophy, doesn't touch deployment. It generates all the code you need on your local computer, and then it's on you to get it online. You'd use your normal tools, platforms like Google Cloud, Vercel, or Netlify. And that's the classic trade-off right there. Replit gives you this incredible, almost magical convenience, while Antigravity gives you total flexibility and control over your own infrastructure.
Of course, all this AI brand power doesn't come for free. So let's break down how each platform handles the all-important question of how much this is going to cost you. So right now, Google Antigravity is in a public preview, and for individual developers, it's free with really generous limits. That makes it super easy to just jump in and try it out. Replit has more of a freemium model. You can get started for free, but to really unlock the AI agent and the hosting features, you're looking at a paid plan, somewhere around $20 a month. But here's the kicker. Replit also uses these things called effort-based credits for AI tasks and hosting, and that can lead to some unpredictable and sometimes pretty high bills, which is something you hear a lot from the community.
Okay, we have talked about philosophy, architecture, AI, trust, deployment, and cost. Let's pull all of that together into a simple guide to help you figure out which one of these tools is the right one for what you're trying to do.
So here's the bottom line. You should pick Replit if speed is what you care about most. If you want to build and launch a new product idea in a single day, if you're just learning to code and hate all the setup headaches, or if you just love the idea of one tool that takes you from a prompt to a live website, Replit is your AI factory. It's for people who want to build an app faster.
You should pick Antigravity if you're a more seasoned developer already working on a big, complex project on your own machine. If you think of AI as a workforce that you need to manage and you want to set up complicated, long-running tasks in the background while you stay in complete control of your tools and your deployment, well then Antigravity is your mission control. It's for people who want to build apps differently.
But here's the pro tip, the secret that a lot of people are starting to figure out. You don't actually have to choose. The most powerful workflow might actually be to use both. You can use Replit to spin up an idea super fast and get a working version online in just a few hours. Then you can export that code to GitHub, pull it down to your computer, and use Antigravity for the really deep, complex work like major refactoring or heavy-duty testing. And that really brings us right back to where we started. This choice, it's less about which tool has a slightly better feature, and it's more about what kind of developer you want to become. Are you a rapid prototyper, focused on the finished product, or are you more of a systems architect, orchestrating a whole new way of working? Ultimately, that's the choice these two platforms are putting in front of us. Are you going to step into the AI factory, where ideas become products at a dizzying speed, or are you going to take your seat in mission control and start commanding your own personal AI workforce? The answer to that question is going to define not just what you build, but how you build it for years to come.